Hello, Renuka at channelingspiritworld.com. How are you doing? And how's my boy Eric? Professor Eric, excuse me.
Yeah, he's saying, Mom, you got it right. Yes, I'm in the classroom and I've been swell, Mom. Thank you for asking. And he's saying, I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
He's in a good mood. And he's saying, Mom, I'm so proud of you. So proud of the work that you have been doing. And you never look back, do you? And that's what I'm so proud of you for.
I never
You
look
know,
what?
you never look back.
Oh yeah. I don't have time for that.
He's saying, I'm proud of you for that. That's what I love about you the most. You keep looking forward, you keep marching forward, and that's what I love you for. And he's saying, Mom, our work is going to increase. He's showing me a lot of people he's influencing to come to you, those who need your help, especially with health problems.
Okay.
Saying, Mom, you know, we are focusing on physical and mental health. So I am going to send a lot of people who need our help. There is so much missing in the traditional medicine, in the allopathy medicine. So much missing. The diagnosis, the
Yeah.
right kind of diagnosis, right treatments, right sources of medicines, all of that is missing. And you can say till now we were doing so much of experiments, so much of trying to understand what is helping whom, how much, what are the soul contacts, what are the spiritual bases, what are the ins and outs of it. But now you have settled so well, you have done so well for yourself. Now your real work starts, where I'll be sending a lot of people to you for help who are tired of visiting doctors after doctors after
Yeah.
doctors. And this is one alternative therapy treatment which will give them the final answers. Of course, the soul contracts matter, the decisions, the free will matter, but that's what I'm looking at, Mom. I'm trying to get as many people, and I am saying all of this thing because I need you to know that you will need support. You will need additional support, and
Okay.
you should be ready for it, because as much the quantum of work that is going to increase, you won't be able to do it all alone.
Yeah. No, well, you've said that Michelle, my daughter Michelle, is extremely spiritual. She's an emergency room nurse, so she knows a lot about medicine. And she also does light language. So and she channels. So I think she would be a good
He's writing a
addition.
big yes. He's writing a big yes, and he's saying, Mom, you got it, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And that's what he meant by helping her out.
Okay. But just don't send him anybody that I can't help, that we can't help. That's all I ask.
Yes.
Okay.
You will be able to, yeah. He's saying, don't worry about that. But yes, you will need additional support. I leave it to you. I know you are trained in the best possible way now. You have assimilated the energy so well, the process, the press, everything so well. I know you will be able to train anyone you want to take under your wings. I'm just trying to say you will need additional support,
Yeah.
because the work is going to increase.
Yeah. I want to keep it in the family. I mean, we can. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So, what, Professor Eric, are we going to talk about now? By the way, I'm also very proud of you and of Sweetie.
He's saying, thank you, Mom. That's what he's saying, like, that's all ever I wanted. You know that. For you to be proud of me.
Oh,
And see, I'm experiencing all of it. Although I didn't experience it in the physical, but I'm experiencing all of it here.
yeah.
So he's writing right use of free will. That's the
Oh,
topic today. Yeah, right.
excellent.
He's saying, Mom, there's so much confusion of when people walk a spiritual path, when they are trying to understand, what is right, what is so-called wrong, because there are no wrongs, what is good, what is so-called bad. I think there is so much confusion out there, and especially for people who are starting new on their spiritual path, who are wanting to understand what is the reason for their existence, the basic question. There is so much confusion because there is so much out there on the internet regarding different spiritual paths. Every spiritual path has a different philosophy, has a different theory, has different rules, and that is why there is so much confusion. And he's saying, before going on to free will, he's writing, I would like to talk about various spiritual paths that are available and why. He's saying, Mom, every soul with different soul plan is walking a very different journey. Every soul is at a very different place on their journey. Some of them are quite ahead. Some of them have just started, and there is no judgment because the moment you separate from the creator, your journey starts. And if you happen to separate from the creator later than others, obviously you will be behind them. There is no comparison or judgment there.
Yeah.
It's just that whenever your journey as a soul started, and that's what that matters. No, because there are so many levels, at so many times the soul is getting separated from the creator. New journeys are being started every moment.
Oh,
Every
wow.
soul, yeah, I think it's a continuous process. It's happening. That's what we call the Big Bang theory, that the souls are getting separated all the time, constantly, and it's in nobody's hands. It's the creator source energy. It's its wish. So you think you will see souls at different levels of development, at different levels of evolution. There are souls at every level of evolution. And when these souls choose to come down here to experience the physical, of course, there is the different level of consciousness. So we all are operating out of different level of consciousness.
I see that. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I saw that when I was coming home from Norway. I just got back from Norway. The airport, sorry, the airport, everybody just, I felt their different journeys. And, sometimes you can't tell if somebody looks just beaten and battered. They could still be a very evolved soul. And if that most likely are. So, but you just see the differences, the uniqueness of each beautiful soul. And it just really impressed me yesterday when I was just walking through the terminal and like, wow.
Yeah, the Singam you should see from here how
Oh
beautiful it is,
God.
how beautiful the entire tapestry is, how beautiful they merge, and these souls help each other from wherever they have started, from whichever level they belong to, and all of them just come together to experience, to exchange experiences and learnings, and how their light shines brighter with every lesson that they go through. You
Yeah.
know, I think from here, when we see, these are just tiny sparks of light, and as they grow, as they learn, as they experience these sparks of light, they start shining and burning brighter. So I think it's you're so right. There's so much
And
uniqueness.
I see it. People email me and they describe their awful childhoods and young adulthoods and all their struggles, and yet they have the courage to embark on a new journey, and they're excited about it. And you have helped you and Renuka and all the other mediums have helped them. Most of them say, and it's cool to see what kind of courage people who have been beaten down so much in life have to reignite their spiritual journey.
We say, yes, mom, that's my mission. That's my mission, to reach out to as many as possible who have this hunger, who have this thirst to grow, to know more, to understand more. And he's saying, I try my best to reach out to as many. And mom, let's not forget your role. You have helped me and be present in the physical, even though I have left it, and reach out to so many. Had you not had that faith right in the beginning, we wouldn't have been able to achieve this.
Yeah.
And he's saying, trust me when I say this, I have thousands of souls standing behind me applauding you when I say that.
Oh,
Because so many whose lives are touched in the physical, it also helps their loved ones, their ancestors, their spirit guides who are working from the spirit world. So he's saying it's a ripple effect, mom. You help one, and you don't know how much that help crosses over what boundaries to reach out to different worlds, to the spirit world too. So you think it's a beautiful life we are living, mom. We are actually serving the purpose of being here. We are serving our souls in the highest capacity, and that's what I love about us, about our connect, that we are able to transcend these boundaries, these limitations. He's quite emotional today. I have never heard him talk about all of those things before.
oh,
He's saying, yes, mom, it's beautiful, and it's more beautiful when you see from here. But he's saying, Mom, yes, this unique individuality that we all embody is very much in coordination with the level of evolution we belong to. And that is why I have always said that judgment has no place in our lives, because everyone is operating out of a different consciousness, and you can't really blame someone not operating out of a higher consciousness to act as per their consciousness. They are only acting as per their knowledge, their wisdom, their level of growth and development. And why should we blame them? Why should we judge them? And that's what I've always said, that being non-judgmental is the most powerful lesson that you can achieve.
Yeah.
Being in the body, it makes life so much easier for yourself as well as for others around you.
Yeah.
So you think, Mom, that is why there is an influx of different spiritual paths in your universe, because every soul needs a different level of training and lessons.
Yeah.
And there are different levels of evolution, so you need as many paths to cater to those lessons, to those needs, so that every soul is able to grow and move forward. Otherwise, he's saying, you must have seen, Mom, how much people compare and judge different spiritual paths. Oh, this path is good, or this path is not so good, or religious differences. He's saying that's total BS, because every path has an essence, and you will learn from every path. But yes, if in a certain lifetime you have followed a path and you have learned everything that that path has to teach you, obviously in your next lifetime you wouldn't resonate with that path, because whatever that path had to teach you, you have learned it in a lifetime. Yeah. So you might not resonate with it, but it does not make it wrong. It does not make it less worthy. So these religious differences and these differences in spiritual paths and spiritual practices, there is no difference. Everything serves a purpose. Every path serves a purpose. Yeah. And we should always make sure that whatever is not resonating with us, maybe we have learned it before, or maybe we have not reached a point where it's able to resonate with our level of consciousness. Whatever level of consciousness.
It's all about vibration, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. And your vibrations will match the similar kind of vibration of a spiritual path. But anything which is not matching and resonating does not mean it's wrong, or it's not needed, or it's not serving its purpose. Yeah. It's just that maybe you lived and experienced it, or maybe you've not reached a stage where you want to live and experience it this time. So I think that is why we have so many spiritual paths. That is why different souls choose in their soul plans to start or initiate a particular spiritual path for the rest of other souls to follow even after that soul has passed over. So you'll see many advanced souls coming and initiating different new spiritual paths, and they'll have very different spiritual practices which will resonate with different individuals at different times. Also, he's saying in one lifetime you might follow different paths also, because if you are following one path and you reach a particular level of evolution, then that path will stop resonating with you. Then you will shift to a higher path, and then you will learn everything from that. Then you'll shift to a higher path, and that is growth and evolution too. All I'm trying to say is respecting every kind of path, every kind of practice, every kind of religion is very, very important, because
one's not better than the other.
Yeah, maybe in your past it has served you. Maybe it will serve you in your future. So you shouldn't be judging and, compartmentalizing. That's what he wanted to say. But he's saying, Mom, let's come back to free will. So he's writing free will. How do I know I'm using my free will the right way? So he's saying, Mom, first let me reiterate something which we have discussed before. The difference between free will, karma, and destiny. Saying there's so much confusion about it. What is free will? And if free will is we can make any choice, then what is destiny if destiny is fixed? Saying I have explained this in our previous lectures, but I would like to reiterate some of it now so that I can carry the topic forward. He's saying soul plan is your destiny. And that's why, we have this proverb where we say we write our own destiny. He's saying it's true. We do write our own destiny. It's just that we write it in the spirit world and we forgot about it. And then we came into the body. But like I said, Mom, whatever we have chosen, that's what is supposed to come to us. Yes, there are times when people make wrong choices, make wrong use of their free will, which will ultimately affect our soul plan. And there are things which we have not planned and they will still happen to us. And in those moments, in those situations, in those relationships, deciding moments, how do you use your free will is what matters the most. Because if you're using your free will in the right way, you stay connected to your soul plan. And if you make a wrong choice, you use your free will wrongly. If you have gotten that choice, you stay away from your soul plan. And that's what we don't want, because I have said many times, if you stick to your soul plan, life is going to be easy because you don't choose torture and tumultuous life. You as a soul are very careful when taking a reincarnation. It's when you go astray that your life becomes so difficult that it's difficult for you to deal with it, manage with it. No soul would want that. No soul would choose that. So you think that's the difference between destiny and free will. Soul plan and destiny are one and the same thing. Karma are the lessons. Free will is something you use to decide you want to run away from your karma or you want to stay there, face your karma, learn your lessons. She's saying, because mom, karma are lessons, they'll never leave. You say, mom, you must have seen, in order to escape one difficult situation, if we run from our lessons, if we run from our karma, we end up being in a more difficult situation because the lessons don't leave us. You might escape one lesson, but then in that process, you create one more difficult lesson because you're meant to stay in that situation, face your karma, learn your lesson, and then move ahead from there. But once you try to escape this and you go to a different path, you are creating karma, a new difficult lesson, which was not meant to be there on the path. So I think when I talk about free will, it is about, am I being courageous enough? Am I facing my karma? Am I open to learn my lessons? Those decisions, those choices is what I call is the right use of free will. But if I choose that free will to run away, to escape, to get fearful, to feel weak, or get carried away by my lower basal emotions, that's what I called as a wrong use of free will. So you think, mom, I'd like to go into some more detail and make it more simple. You think in life, there will be many decisions, there will be many choices, there will be many situations where you will be asked to make a choice, where you will face a choice between different options. And these choices can be varied. It can be between emotions, it can be between situations, it can be between relationships. It can be only about your life, how you want your life to move forward with. And so many times in our channeling sessions, he says we always face these questions that, I have this choice and I don't know what is right for me. I don't know which one to choose. I'm so confused. And I'm scared whichever choice I make, I'll not be doing the right thing. He's saying, first of all, we need to understand there are no rights and wrongs. So maybe there are two choices in front of you. Now, maybe your soul chose those two choices and you are meant to make a choice in the body, whatever suited you. Maybe the soul didn't give you a choice and you had to learn a lesson. What we need to understand is that either of the choice when I make, I will end up learning.
Yeah.
I'm not
Like
losing.
here's the beginning, here's the destination. You can go this way or you can go this way. It doesn't make a difference as long as you eventually get there, whether it's this life or another.
Yeah, he's saying, mom, you're right. Maybe there are 4 different pathways to my destination, but mom, one of them is the easiest. One of them, you don't face any obstacles. You don't face wild animals or boars. You don't face thunder and lightning. You don't face landslides and floods. He's saying that's what matters. That's where the choice comes into the picture. You have the choice to make the easiest path your choice. I think, mom, that matters because difficult paths, if you make your life more difficult, it's anyways difficult. Let's accept it because we have chosen to learn through all of this pain and suffering. It's anyways difficult. So, my advice have always been to keep it simple, to keep it less difficult because whatever level of difficulty your soul has chosen, that is enough. You don't have to go beyond it. And that is where these choices matter a lot. And he's writing an example where you have 3 partners to choose from, a romantic partner to get married to.
Right.
He's saying none of them is going to be perfect.
Mm-mm.
Because it will be a karmic contract. Marriage is a huge karmic. I think I'm
Oh
just
God,
giving
yeah.
a very superficial example with which everyone will be able to relate. So I think if someone has three choice of partners, I'm not saying anyone will go perfect, because if these choices have come in front of her, she definitely has a karma, has a
Well,
karmic contract.
keep talking. I'm going to.
Yeah. Yeah. So you see, none of them are going to be perfect for her. But the way she is made, this individual is made. She wants more of a comfortable life. She wants more of luxury. She wants more of ease and comfort and luxury. So for her, out of these three, the one who has more money will be the apt choice, not the other one who is spiritual, or not the other one who will give her a lot of affection and emotion. She might, all the three choices might be correct, but what is the best choice for her? What will make her life, her soul plan, much more easier to follow? That is the trick. Anything to understand that which option will work the best for your soul. And you think, Mom, I'm talking about soul and soul plan and growth, not the materialistic things. What is going to
Yeah.
make that easier for you? Saying, because no matter what you have to go through your lessons. You have to go through that pain and suffering, which is destined. But where are the lessons going to be easier? What if I make a choice where the lessons get more difficult, and maybe those lessons I chose them secondary? We think, Mom, a path, when a soul chooses a path, it gives itself options. It's when you forego all the options and go somewhere else, you're going astray and life becomes more difficult. But within these paths also, there is an easier option, there is a difficult option. And you think the way your soul chooses these options, the first one will be the easiest.
You
When
mean
you
the one that's financially supportive?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Like it will of course vary with other examples. But you see, the first one coming to you is what your soul chose to be at the easiest level, that this will come to me and I will learn these three lessons. But for some reason, if I forego this option, then this will come. And then these will be the lessons, which will be something which your soul, which was not your soul's first choice. Your soul's first choice was these three lessons because that was easier compared to the soul plan the soul was making. The second option is more of an emergency option. It's more of an option which
Mm,
you didn't want to, but you have just to keep yourself safe on the path
yeah.
and to make sure that you're learning your lessons. You have given yourself options, but the first one is always the easiest one. Is always what is your soul's first choice, and that's why it will be easy. Beyond that, the level of difficulty goes on increasing, and that's what we have to avoid. Think so many times people are in these job situations and they get tempting offers, and I've seen him telling him that you might be getting a higher package, but the job conditions, your respect, your position, your
Oh yeah.
relationship with colleagues, that's more important, and this is something you're not going to get in that tempting offer. And if that's your choice, fine, but you will have your lessons to learn.
Yeah.
So
In
it's
either
about,
direction, there's always going to be lessons.
yes,
Can't
yes,
avoid the lessons. That's
yes.
what we're here for.
Yeah, see, saying I'm just saying keep it simple. You have to learn it in the easiest way, and stick to the level of difficulty your soul chose originally, and not to make your life more difficult. But how do we understand which choice will make it difficult? So you think, Mom, there are a few paradigms we have to understand and stick to if we want to make the right choice, which is according to our soul plan and which will not make our life much more difficult. So, you think the first thing which we discussed in our last lecture also, that we have to think like a soul. So,
Yeah.
if an option is coming to us, we have to think like a soul and tell us this is the option, this is the first fresh option, and if it's coming to me, no matter how difficult it sounds or how fearful it is, and no matter if I get other options or not, this is something I chose on the first place. So, the first choice is always important, and you have to think like a soul. Even if it doesn't look so much attractive, even there are other tempting offers you think which might come after them, you should stick to the first option, whether be it marriage, be it jobs, or be it choosing a vocation, choosing a study course, whatever comes first in your mind. Because what happens is, we are connected to our inner soul, we are connected to our inner selves, and we just know what we need to do.
Trust your
Why?
first instinct. Trust your first instinct.
Yes. Yes, he's saying that's always almost the best thing because your soul always knows. But once it comes to the surface of our mind, that gets influenced by opinions of people around us.
Oh yeah, you start second guessing yourself, etc. Yeah.
What the society is expecting out of you, what are your parents expecting, and
Oh God.
fears, also fears, your own fears and doubts and confusion based on what you have experienced before that. Think it covers it. So you always have to go back to that base feeling, to that first instinct. That is always almost the first and the proper option. And then you have to think like a soul that this is something which my soul wanted to do. That's why it is my first instinct, and I should stick to it no matter what fears and confusions and doubts are coming. You always have to keep the emotions aside. You have to think like a soul and stay connected to that first instinct. But he's saying, but mom, there are those who say, oh, we don't know what our instinct is, or we don't feel connected, to what our inner soul is saying. We are confused. We don't know what our instinct is saying. He's saying for them, they have to look at their energy. They have to look at how they feel. How they feel is a very emotional energy. That feeling is an emotional energy. And even if they are not connected to their instinct, when they are about to make a decision, how are they feeling about it? Are they confident? Do they feel at ease? Do they feel at peace? Do they feel confident? Then is the right choice. But while making a choice, if there is some doubt, some confusion, some unease, and they are not able to pinpoint why they are not feeling at comfort, why they are not feeling at peace, that is the wrong choice.
Yeah.
I think you will feel your heart will support you. Maybe the whole world is against the choice that you're making, and you will still feel confident.
Yeah.
That's the right choice. And maybe you're making a choice and everybody is supporting you. The entire world is supporting you, but you are not feeling that confidence within yourself. Your heart is stopping. Something is stopping you. That is the
Yeah.
wrong choice.
Yeah.
I think you always have to stay connected to what you're feeling about
Right.
a person, about a place, about a decision.
Sometimes you could do like a snap, like which job, A or B? What does you provide? Boom. And what comes in your mind first? Or you can ask somebody else to do it so you don't, to ask you. Or using a pendulum or body muscle testing. You can do those things to sort of tap in. But the best thing is to learn how to connect with your feelings on a reliable, consistent basis. Recognize the feeling in your
Right, but nowadays people overthink everything so much. They are under so much stress and worry that they have lost that connection to actually what they are feeling. They might be feeling it at a subconscious level, but they are not connected to that feeling, so they don't really know what they are feeling. They don't really know what to do, what not to do. Now, in those cases, so he's giving us all the scenarios. So if your first instinct is not working, go with your feeling. If your feeling is not working, if you're not in touch with your feelings, if you're not connected to your feelings, you have to go where you are getting objective about the situation. You have to keep your fear aside, you have to keep your doubt aside, you have to keep your confusion aside, you have to keep every emotion that you're feeling about that situation, about that person, or about that choice, and get very objective. Rise above yourself, look at yourself outside of yourself. Okay, this is Renuka and this is her choice. What would you choose or decide for Renuka? Very objectively, without getting stuck in the emotions. And you saying, Mom, it's a process. It's something you need to master. It just does not come in the first time. But it works so beautifully well. Because when we are making choices for others, we become so objective. But when we're making choice for ourselves, all our emotions come rushing in. So I think that is something you need to learn to do in order to arrive at a right decision. Thinking, Mom, there are life threatening decisions, there are life changing decisions, there
Yeah.
are decisions which can affect so much within you, around you. And these are the moments you really need to be sure of what you are deciding. Of course, it's very easy, to sit with a medium, sit for a channeling session, but that's not how you're meant to live your life. You are meant to
No.
be empowered. You should be empowered,
Yes.
able to make your own decisions and not have any dependence on anyone outside of you. Anything, Mom, you will see. You will take advices and suggestions from anyone. And once you are up to it, into following it, something is stopping you, something is worrying you. Think that's your cue.
Yeah.
Because only your soul knows exactly what it has chosen, what it is meant to invite into its physical reality, into its experience. To stay connected to the soul, to the intuition, and to make a right choice. That's all that matters. He's saying, Mom, there are also other few factors which you have to rise above in order to make a right decision. The worst factor that I have seen is society and the reputation that we are, and the pretense that we do in our society, in our relationships, in our family. And so many times our decisions and choices are triggered by this ego, which we try to maintain, which we try to pretend. If you keep that aside, almost 90% of the times you will arrive at the right choice, because that is the right choice for your soul. So many times we are influenced by all of these things and we tend to make wrong decisions. We go astray from our soul plan. And that's where we see everything around us toppling. We think your relationships won't work out. You will have health issues. You will have abundance issues. One wrong choice, which takes you away from your soul plan. So free will is always sticking to your soul plan, listening to your soul's voice within you, understanding the soul's voice and not letting it get affected by all the difficult, low, negative emotions that our conscious mind throws at it. And you think, like last time I said, that you have to go to that conference hall, think you're a soul, and you're sitting on that conference table, and you have to give yourself a choice and think like a soul and understand what is my soul trying to teach me, what is my soul wanting. My soul is wanting to choose option A or option B. What is good for me? He's saying, Mom, I'm not saying there any choice is wrong. All choices will help you learn. All choices will help you grow. What I'm saying is that if you have a choice to make an easier choice, to make your life easy, it's very important, because so many times, we don't pay enough attention to what we are choosing. It has so much capability. The right decision making has so much capability to make our life easier.
Yeah.
At any point, it's anyways difficult. So he says, I always encourage people to make choices which will only make their situations easier, make their emotions easier, make their relationships easier. Then keep the level of difficulty low. Don't make it more difficult. Anything that's why, Mom, you will see today toxic relationships.
Yeah. But it seems like I'll just say the difficult choices, there's always an element of fear, there's a worry, an apprehension, a dread when you're about to make that particular choice.
You think, Mom, it's fear. Out of fear comes doubt. Out of fear comes confusion. Out of fear comes insecurity.
Yeah.
Out of fear comes stress, worry. You think, Mom, if you see, fear is the most basal emotion which leads to so many difficult negative emotions. And then all of them together make you so fearful.
And that causes health issues. Yeah.
Yes, but even then, when the right choice is staring right in front of your face, you're not able to make that right choice because you're driven by fear so much.
Yeah.
And once you're in that situation and you look back and you realize, oh my God, you were just fearful and that's why you made that choice, and you lose out on so much.
Yeah.
Fear is and that's why I said that my first quote was keep fear out.
Yes. Live life in love, not fear. It's the most important and one of the most difficult things to achieve.
Most difficult because when you take on the body, Mom, the mind is there, and this physical conscious mind has gone through so many physical experiences, which has created fear as the most powerful emotion in that mind. And to rise above that powerful emotion, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of practice. And I think that's why, Mom, I say go and imagine yourself like a soul, because like a soul, this when you're thinking like a soul, the fear will evaporate because you will not fear anything, because you're a soul. Nobody can touch you, nobody can destroy you, nobody can harm you.
Yeah.
That is why this practice of always going and imagining yourself as a soul, the worry evaporates, the stress goes away, the fear goes away, and it becomes much objective.
We're eternal beings, so that alone should sort of eliminate much of the fear, doubt, etc. Now,
and there's no way you'll make a wrong choice, correct?
Yeah. I can't remember who, but somebody taught me that you can, of course, communicate with your higher self, and so you can sort of put yourself in a meditative state and ask your higher self, show me your yes. And to me, it felt like up and down in this tube, an up and down feeling, like nodding yes, I guess, and show me your no, and you concentrate, and I can't remember. Have you
Yeah,
done?
you get a signal. You get a signal for yes, get a signal for
Yes.
no. And then in future, whenever you need to ask yes or no, you just need to sit, meditate, and ask a question and wait for the signal.
Right, right. When you communicate with your higher self, Renuka, what does it feel like to have a yes, and what does it feel like to have a no?
No, I can see her and talk to her just like I talk to Erik.
Oh, of course, that's the easy way. Not everybody can
So
do that.
whenever I go and meet my higher self, sometimes Erik accompanies and sometimes not. But once, if you are clairvoyant and you have clairaudient capabilities, also, it's very easy for you to communicate with your higher self, see your higher self just like Erik, because your higher self will look exactly like you, but in a very refined, in a more beautiful, in a more clearer, purer way. Like when I see my higher self, very hilariously, I see her as an angel. And initially, when Erik took me to meet her, I couldn't believe, but I could understand this is not me. She looked like me, but she looked much better and much beautiful and much purer, shining with light. And that's how I understood this is not me, but she's looking like me. And Erik said, silly head, she's your higher self. And
Okay.
then yeah, and then I could talk to her. But in all my conversations with her, what I have noticed is that once you connect with your higher self, it's very much powerful because this is the highest component of your soul who was present in deciding your soul path.
Yeah.
And, and that component, that part of your soul, is still present in the spirit world and still has the power to change your soul plan. So many times when I have complained to Erik, oh, I don't like this about my life, I need to change this. He said, go and talk to your higher self because she has the free will, she has the permission to change
Yeah.
whatever you want because it's you, it's you essentially. Don't complain to me. Go and talk to her. I've taught you how to talk to her. And every time that I've gone to her and I've reasoned with her that, I don't like this aspect of my life, I don't like, and she's explained me the essence, why we as a soul chose that. I have almost always agreed and I have never wanted to change anything. He's saying because she says because we chose it with a lot of thought and consideration. Just because now you're in the body and you feel all of these emotions does not make it wrong. And that gives me so much strength and courage to deal with whatever it is which is troubling me. So our soul plans are perfect. And if you learn to connect with your higher self, which Erik can always teach, he's in fact teaching through channeling sessions. There's this mediumship training he started through me, which is very subjective. He sits individually with every person and helps them, cross these levels. And connecting with the higher self is a very higher level. Beyond it, there is trans mediumship, trans channeling. But yes, connecting with higher self is a very powerful ability because that's when you can communicate and request her to change stuff which you don't want in your soul plan. But of course, it's not healthy because as a soul, we have chosen the best soul plans. It's just
Yeah.
that while in the body, we are not able to go through. So that's the most beautiful aspect. I think for beginners, Elisa, pendulum douching is good. It's just that one thing has to be considered in pendulum douching that your subconscious mind tends to affect the direction of the pendulum.
Yeah.
That's why whenever I'm teaching, I tell my people not to hold it, but to suspend it through through a
Yeah. I
stand.
have a special thing to suspend it
Yes,
from.
yes. Then that's safe. You
Yeah.
will always get your answers, and Erik is so good with pendulums. So good.
He is really good.
It's it's very easy for him, obviously. He has so many powers, but pendulum is so good because there are times when I'm able to hear him and I'm still not able to trust my decision. I go to my pendulum. I don't hold it. It's suspended from a very objective, good stand.
Yeah.
And Erik always gives me the yes and no. It's always very easy. I think that's the easiest. Higher self, you need a higher level of abilities and powers to do that, but it's possible for everyone.
Okay. Awesome. Anything else you want to share, Eric?
Eric is saying, Mom, just one thing. Whenever you're about to make a decision, whenever you're about to make a choice, you should feel very happy. You should feel at peace. There should be no niggling feeling or niggling doubt
Yes. Yeah.
troubling you at the base of your consciousness, at the base of your spine, at the pit of your gut. He's talking about all of these things. think that's the most important thing. You want to know what is right for you? Just start going and start preparing to do that thing, and you will almost always know it's right or wrong for you, because it will just be there. It will just be in your body. It will be just be in your mind.
Even imagine, just even imagine going down one particular decision route and then, oh, wait a minute. Or, oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome.
Most important. And small decisions, big decisions, all of the decisions and choices have huge effect on your future, on your soul plan. So right use of free will is very important. Making the right decisions, right choices, very important.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Renuka and Erik. I love you all. You guys subscribe because you don't want to miss the next Professor Erik lecture. I love you both. Love you all. Bye.